I'm Seamus. Thank you so much for coming.
You've got a great cause worth fighting for. I couldn't wait to get here. That said, I expected, well, more people?
So far, there's only the two of us.
But we're highly motivated.
Well, it's a start.
Some people I knew already were dear friends of mine, like little gray cells, and just my stupid opinion.
Lots of interesting things. This is absolutely abominable, and the RCMP are really in the shit here, and they know it.
Hi, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I think it's time that I needed to speak up.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
Something you watch on TV, horror movie, you shut it off, you go to bed. We can't shut this off. Every time we close our eyes, the horror movie turns on. So I know for myself, when I close my eyes, go try to go to bed, picture my parents being shot.
Trying to piece together a story that seems so unbelievable.
Let's have a look at this. I'm going to pause it periodically, and I'm going to try and not lose my shit because I was really angry. Really angry. I'm getting really pissed now. I'll preface this by saying I'm strongly urging all of the victims in this, the victims' families, to launch a class action lawsuit against the RCMP. And I would just love to have the RCMP under discovery. I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lawyer would too.
Canadian Mounted Police and their stories. Stories of their courage. Stories of their lives filled with hazard, romance, and adventure. The RCMP story this week, Gunslinger.
Oh my goodness, how many windows do I have open? All right, so it's been a little bit. Sorry, been busy doing a couple of things. Yeah. Many things happening, watching, colors being shown. Also, I have a new little friend, too. So she's keeping me busy. And I still have my old guy around, too. So anyways, and we're also joined today by Tara. How's it going?
It's going. Can you hold her up so I can see her?
Oh, okay.
Oh, little baby, she's so cute. Oh, I love her. Look at her. She's so cute.
I'm not used to
her
the tail.
little tail. She's got a long tail. It's weird, isn't it?
I'm not used to it.
I know. My Rottweiler has a tail too, and it's so weird. It's the weirdest thing. They're not allowed to chop them off anymore.
No.
Which I logically, I understand it. But I don't like the look of it because it's not what I'm used to.
it's taking some adjusting. As is,
Yeah.
so now I have two dogs urinating all over the floor. The old guy's urinating and the young one. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to choose a name. Maybe that's why I chose.
She's adorable. I
Well,
thought the obvious name should be Minnie. Like Minnie Mouse, but she's a min pin.
Well, that's very creative, isn't it?
Not even at all. No.
Minnie? Minnie?
Yeah.
Minnie? Are you responding?
She's
No.
cute.
No, I don't know. Maybe she's shy. She's kind of a bit shy, but she's funny.
She's worried about the camera adding 10 pounds.
She runs and oh, thank you. She tackles T. It's really funny. Poor T. He was,
I bet he loves her though.
Oh, he is. I have like the most awesome photos. He curls up with her. She curls up with him. I think there may be something with her hearing. I'm not exactly sure, but they both lick each other's ears. So
interesting.
Maybe it's a message from
some
beyond.
Dogs just do that to keep each other. It's a like a lovely gesture. I know my Rottweiler licks my pit bull's ears. He doesn't do it back to her, but she does it to him, and it's like her way of telling him she loves him.
Oh.
Like grooming, right? Grooming.
The grooming.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so lots of urine to clean up and fun things, but that's the way it goes.
Well, you're cleaning up piss and shit anyway. You might as well just do it.
Yeah. Figuratively and literally.
Yeah. You deal with all sorts of shit all the time. You might as well actually have shit. I'm trying to find a place I can stand my phone where you can actually see me, but because I have the cord coming out of it for my headphones, I can't stand it up. I have to hold on to it.
Oh,
it's really irritating.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens if you turn it sideways? Oh yeah, turn sideways, right? Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm just on my head, which is probably more appropriate anyway.
Then it's like Steve. Maybe there's like a little, I don't know, container or something. Cigarettes always work well. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I had this wonderful thing that it was this wonderful thing. It was like a pair of hands, and it would hold my phone, and you could put it wherever you wanted. Apparently, it was quite delicious. So Ted possesses it now.
Oh.
In his intention.
I can send this over to you. I've got a stand here, but I don't think it's going to do much good. No. So how have you been keeping?
I have been lucky to actually, you know what, with all the weight I have on me, I thought this heat wave would like help me slim down and I would like melt into a puddle, but no, I'm just bitchy. I fucking hate the heat. I'm a cranky bitch anyway, but you add fucking 40-degree weather to it and I am not pleasant.
Well, yeah, it's really hot. I suppose we should say hello to everybody.
And actually, you know what? It's not even nearly as hot here as it is where you are. And my best friend lives in Nanaimo. And I think she sent me a screenshot yesterday. And I think it was like 30 degrees at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, it's warm. It's warm. They had 256 people die. I think it is, or something like that. I'm sure it's way more than that now, but that was a few hours ago. It's actually made CNN news how many people died in BC.
Seriously.
Wearing I don't think people were taking off that other thing, but we won't go there.
Yeah, don't get me started on the fucking.
We won't.
Where we want to go.
So we're joined by Grinder. Hello, Nosy Scotian.
We have lots of folks in here. I figured out how to look at the chat. Hey guys.
Oh, you did? I don't know how to
look at me, not just a hat rack.
Can you teach me how to do that?
I'm lucky I figured it out myself.
Julia Rock, Christiana, how's it going?
Todd, shalom.
Darlene, Ashley, Nikki,
Alex, Deanna,
Squirrel.
yeah. That's
Squirrel.
cool, eh?
Well, you can read.
LML. Yeah, I love seeing all these names. Christiana, Linda, Dave, Ashley. You guys, it's so nice that you're all here. Brickleberry, that's a cool name.
Prickleberry.
Brickleberry.
Brickleberry. Squirrel Eyes. Are you new joining us, Squirrel Eyes? There's a few new people. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. She appreciates that. She's still being
Todd,
shy.
you gotta stop, dude. You're too funny. You crack me up.
I stole Lucky's cheesecake. I wonder who that is. Puppies are anti-Zionist and Islamist. Shut it down.
That's true. That's true.
Anti-Zionist. Do Zionists have a problem with dogs? I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I think so. They like cats, though.
Oh, okay. Countryside. Who doesn't mind a little cat here and there?
Yeah, right? Delicious. Curried cat, my favorite. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Brickleberry. Yeah, that's a pretty cool name. Brickleberry.
Yeah, it is.
Darlene says, daughter's moving to BC in August to start med school. Well, hopefully the heat wave will be over there. What was it? 49 degrees yesterday in a town there. Literally 49. No exaggeration. I'm not a very exaggerating person.
I wonder where that was, because I know on the island it was somewhere like 44, feels like 49, but I know, like, I used to live up in the Fraser Canyon, and motherfucker, it got really hot up there. And I can only imagine probably in places like Kelowna, Kamloops, out the Shuswap, it's probably ridiculously hot right now. It's so much hotter up there usually.
It was some town east of Vancouver, but I don't know it. Lytton. Oh
my gosh, Kay, I used to live up there. I used to live in a town called Boston Bar that nobody has ever heard of. And Lytton is just past that.
Oh, so wait a second. That was 2 days ago. It was 46.6 there. Yesterday, beat out Las Vegas all-time high. And 65 deaths. No. It's like 200 and some odd now. 47. Oh, I thought it was 49. I'm wrong. 47.9. Is that right? Monday? That's just crazy. Crazy talk. Anyways, hopefully it's not too hot out there for your daughter, Darlene. It's a bit crazy. We've got
that is nuts.
Evening time. Yes. What time is it down there? 6:36.
6:36.
6:36. We've got Mark.
Right?
Down by the bay. You
Point Fire. Oh, we got Point Fire with Lynn, Darlene, Binks, Linda. We have everybody.
We have a lot of folks in here, which is always good. Binks, how's it going? Now, so I guess I don't even know what to say exactly, but apparently
I do.
All right, I'll let you talk.
I've been fucking mad, and I apologize, Seamus, because I know that this is not how you like to run your show. You don't like the negativity, but I do not like it either. But I really, really, really am super fucking pissed off. I've been pissed off for a few days ever since I found out that our lovely quote unquote steal the information reporter and his little cronies and buddies are spending more time trying to figure out what your real name is than they are trying to figure out what the fuck happened in this case. I don't really give two shits if your name is Tuck the Uck Tuck, for fuck's sake. You have spent more time finding out all this shit than anybody else puts together. And the fact that these douchebags can't be bothered to look into the case and worried about your birth name, which is the stupidest thing. Stop me if I'm like talking too much, but it makes me mad. I have known you for years. You're Seamus. Your name.
Whoa. Something happened there. Okay, that wasn't me. Did you do something, Bella? Don't be playing with stuff. So yes, my name is Paul Ragona. I've got this right here. I believe. Oh, there we go.
Hey, bud, I hit that fucking button again. One of these days I will get my computer back, and this won't be an issue. I mean, I guess what's pissed me off is, do you care if I just talk? Because you know how I am. I don't like the veiled threats that you're getting from people. I don't like the people who pretend to be on our side, on our team, sitting in our chat, conversing, and nothing but fucking shit disturbers. Somebody is talking about these fucking Paul and his people. I'm going to call them minions because, you know, that's what they like. That's the word they like to use. Are trying to dox you. And they're saying your birth name, which has nothing to do with who you are. You haven't gone by that name. Your name is, you don't even look like a Paul. You're not Paul. You're Seamus. You've been Seamus. Your family calls you Seamus. I call you Seamus. Your girlfriend calls you Seamus. And I don't really give a shit what your fucking name is. You have done nothing but work on this case since it started. And I don't mean like 2 days later. I mean the fucking day. Because when this happened, you're the first call that I made. I found out it was my family, and I called you. I didn't call anyone else. You knew immediately. As soon as I knew, you knew. And you were on it. We had a video that fucking day. And Paul Palango and his minions didn't show up on this scene till well after 2 weeks later. And I think it's only because they decided that, oh, this is actually getting coverage from somewhere else, and we need to run a narrative. That's my opinion. I have no proof of that, but I don't understand what would lead somebody to dig into a person's past on something that doesn't fucking matter. It's like saying that it matters if you drive a Corolla. I don't know what kind of car you drive, but it doesn't make a lick of fucking difference to me. The only thing these people should be doing is trying to collaborate and figure out what the hell happened and find the truth. But they're way more busy coming down on you, watching your videos and taking notes and taking all the information that we find all together, and mostly you. Like, let's be honest here. You do more research and spend more time doing this than anybody else. So all that shit that they're taking and spewing out as though Paul came up with it, he didn't. He didn't come up with any of it. And any people that he is, I don't know who is actually talking to him after he described my family's house the way that he did, and after he he was pretending to be a part of this and on the family side. But truly, if this guy was trying to find out information for the families to help the families, we wouldn't get a notification the day before his articles come out. We would get a notification as soon as the information comes out, and it wouldn't matter about the articles. He would be telling us what's going on. The dude is making a fucking Netflix video. He's writing books. Who's making money here? I'm not making any money. Are you getting money? I know from you personally, I've told you several times that you should be getting money for the amount of times that you spend on this, and you won't do it. You won't take it. You get mad when I fucking send you t-shirts. For fuck's sakes. So you're not making money, and I actually know for a fact that you've spent your own money consulting with lawyers, writing letters, and doing all sorts of other things that I don't even know about. your money. Nobody volunteered to give you any money. Nobody sent you any money that I know of. And you're not writing a book. You're not writing a book, are you? Do you have a Netflix deal? Are you going to make a movie?
No, I don't. I'm just letting you speak. I'm not going to.
I don't even know how far to go, because you and I have had this conversation, and I fucking think that it's bullshit. If these people really cared about trying to find out what happened, they wouldn't worry about where you came from or any of that shit. They would be going, okay, this guy's got all sorts of information. Let's collaborate with him and find out what the fuck we can. It doesn't matter. There's people that I talk to regarding this case that I have absolutely nothing in common with. We don't agree on a goddamn thing. But what we do agree on is that we're trying to find the truth on this. It doesn't matter anything else. If we're in this, we should be all in it for the right reasons. But when you have people in the chat who are causing shit, disturbing the shit, and causing people to be looking in the wrong direction. There's a funny thing, because I do watch some, not that I don't want to watch Jordan's shit, I really don't, but I do watch it, and I watch the chat. Mostly I watch the chat.
Sorry, if you don't mind. I'm not understanding. Yeah. Yes, I should. Actually, I'm sorry. That was just a moment I was having.
No,
people come late into the game, and a lot of colors are being shown, I think. People want to dig in me. Go ahead, dig all you want. In fact, I think it would be very damaging, being that is my grandmother. And she has a very interesting history. I've described who I am, that all my family are lawyers, that who my grandmother and some of the work that she did. But I always said, I speak very lowly of, and was taught that as a child. We don't speak highly of ourselves. For 3 decades, over 3 decades, I have been known as Seamus. In my family, everybody around me knows that. I only keep the name Paul.
Yep.
Most people have nicknames. A lot of people do. That happens to be mine. That is my family name. I didn't grow up with my father, so Gorman, but I do honor my grandfather, which is why I use that name. And I have for a long time. It is on some pieces of non-governmental ID that I have. This is how old it is. Everybody knows me as that. If it is, I don't know, if you want to find philanthropy and perhaps, donation of work time. My grandmother was big into feminist stuff, as in not feminist stuff, but working for, she would hate that if you called her that. Human rights for women with the UN, Order of Canada recipient, offered a senatorship. I don't come from a family that is of, I don't know how to put that.
Your family doesn't fuck around.
My family has a history, but there's no motive behind anything. And
no, your family's motive is all just to be good people and to tell the truth and to be fair. That's what I've noticed.
Somebody was censoring comments in my channel and have been doing for a long time, and there's screenshots of that. Perhaps I should show that.
Perhaps you should, because anybody who knows you knows that you don't agree with censoring anybody. People can say the nastiest shit to you and you won't censor it.
Yes, and it's unfortunate. That person blew out, and they have obviously associations, and people will see colors. Colors are showing associations tied to one another.
That's right. That's exactly right. And you have to ask the question, where were you the whole time? What have you done? And what are you doing now? And who are you connected to? That's what I'm curious about, the connections.
15 months it takes. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was there 20th. Was it the 20th?
Yeah, you were.
Over 1,000 hours probably by this point.
Yep. You were there on the 19th because the 19th was Sunday, and I called you that day. And we made that video that day. What's that?
I can check and see. But anyways, I'm not I never came into this to pick enemies with people. If people want to talk about my grandmother, dig into my stuff, please do. I have always said I have no problem. It's interesting, though, that they would spend time on that rather than researching what is really going on. This is an interesting one. One needs to ask themselves logical questions. We have a problem here, but you want to talk about oranges. Why?
That's exactly right. You want to spend your time researching? How about you find out what the fuck happened that weekend? How about you do that instead of pulling apart the only person who's put his fucking life on hold?
Billing information, which is actually, I believe, confidential, which is fine. Confidential billing information. But that's
wow.
fine. I don't care. Well, it's not a secret. It's really easy to do. I don't know. Anyway.
Nova Scotia Citizen says that he was on the first YouTube videos and you shadow banned him. I don't believe that.
You had am I going to show the hammer? The hammer that you were dropping on people?
Yeah, you should.
You were censoring people. You had the wrench. You were censoring yourself so that you could cover up the conversation that you were having because somebody was criticizing what you were saying. The screenshots are there. I don't need to grow the hell up. I help a friend. What do you do? What do you do?
Who the fuck are you here for?
Where is your Substack?
What are you here for?
15 months ago. 15 months ago. Where were you? You just learned the internet now? I don't know the internet. As in, I don't know all the ins and outs. It's interesting. I got a conversation with somebody. Yes. The IP trace. Dartmouth. Cybercrimes. Anyway.
I'm confused here, Ms. Fox. We were asked to look into Seamus by several group members who were plain old hurt by the dishonesty. After you mind them, you're going to have to spit out more information there, Ms. Fox, because so far, Seamus hasn't lied to anyone. What actually happened is that he was open with all the people who started at the beginning of this, and then they started fucking people over and gatekeeping. That's what actually happened. And if several people are asking you to look into Seamus, the several people can go fuck themselves because Seamus is...
Have at. Please go for it.
Go. You know what? Go the fuck off and go. Here's my new favorite. I love this. I got to say this.
A lot of people. Indian Act. Ouch. Okay. Regina versus Wesley. I can go on. Lots of people know. But we don't talk like that because that's rude. And the story has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. But if you want to search, I ad hominem attacks. Where have I insulted anybody? I have proof of stuff.
That's right.
Proof is proof. Proof is Jean Chrétien. Right. Proof is a proof is a proof is a proof. But have at. Is it such a bad thing that my grandmother was a lawyer? Order of Canada recipient? Is it such a bad thing that I come from multi-generational lawyers? Is it such a bad thing that my grandfather was a judge? Is it such a bad thing? What's bad about that? What's bad about it? Does that
Yeah.
make me a
Well, I'm
liar?
curious
Did I
about
say
Jordan.
all of
Somebody told
those
me
things?
Jordan's not his real name. Are we digging into his life?
Did I
Just
say?
curious. Did we
Oh
find
no!
out what Jordan's real
I
name is
see
yet?
the seeds being sown. Liar, liar. You want to call me a liar? What's your name? Where's your face? Where were you 15 months ago with Substacks then? Where is it? Interesting. I have no time to spend with you on your stuff. Certain individuals who are doing that. I don't have the time. I only have the time to do research on what is going on, what has happened, the stories that have surfaced. Where do you think the vast majority of those come from? Really? Notifications at discordapp.com? Ouch.
Ouch, yeah. Doesn't even watch the Discord.
I don't know. These are all.
No, I just think it's nonsense.
These
You know
are
what? If
all.
all you want to do here is stir the fucking pot, why don't you go fuck off? I gotta say this. I learned it yesterday, and it's really great. It's a great way to tell someone to fuck off. Have sex and travel. That's how I feel about you fucking assholes who are trying to dox my friend for trying to find out what the fuck happened to my family. Truly, I don't know who you are or why you have to be a fucking douchebag or why you're trying to run a narrative or why you're censoring people, why you're doing any of this stuff. Why don't you just get a fucking life? How about? Or do your own fucking research. Do your own research, make your own videos. Maybe dig up your own stuff. How about you spend your fucking life looking into ITOs
No,
and reading all this boring shit to try to find the fuck out what happened?
Latecomers to the story. Like I said,
Way
everything.
latecomers.
There's record of everything, and people just need to look. I don't touch any of
That's
it.
right.
It's not like I'm not aware. I'm aware. I'm aware of a lot of things. I just don't do it because why? People are intelligent people, as I have always said. They can put the pieces together for themselves. They can see motives. They can see connections between people. These things are very interesting, and people have great minds. And I just leave them to put the pieces together themselves. That's all. It's not a toughie.
Down by the bay. Yes, we should be researching the people who are saying these things because really, what are you hiding? What are you hiding from? Why is it that you're spending your time trying to dox my friend instead of finding out what the fuck's going on?
Bikers.
The only
What
reason
the
for
hell are you
that
speaking
is you are hiding.
You see the tactics.
You're hiding
you
something.
See the tactics. Get everybody off on something else. Actually, I have spoken about Danny King. Who spoke about all those things? You want to go back in the videos? Everybody.
We could go back at all of them.
There's hundreds. Record. So, 15 months.
Claire, you're right. This is not fucking entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is the fucking government and the police and whoever else they're involved in covering up what the fuck happened to 23 victims. That's what this is. And if you're going to spend your fucking life digging into my friend who isn't your friend, the dude's my friend. He's in here trying to help me find out what the fuck happened to my family. And if all you're going to do is stir the fucking pot, maybe we should dig into you a little bit and find out what the fuck you're all about.
This is what they want. You see? And that's why the colors show.
That's it. You know what? And yeah.
Because anybody with a reasonable mind, this is just logical, reasonable mind sits back and says to themselves, well, what's the point in going into that? Fine, you tell me their name.
That's true, down by the bay. Absolutely. You have to know.
What does their record speak to? What have they done? What was their motive? I don't know. My grandmother in the Indian Act. What do you think was her motive? What do you think her motive was? Disabled people. You could go on. Not a day paid in her life. Just donated.
Ms. Fox, you're wrong. Somebody did threaten him. Somebody did veil leave.
What have
do a
you
veiled
done
threat.
since day one? Where's the
You
Substack?
don't.
Where is the Substack? 15 months ago, column boy. You've got columns?
Yes, start writing some of those columns if you would. I'd love to see some of the research you've done on your own to write these columns.
I believe they use a pen name too. I may have something else, but it's fine. I really don't have time. That's what this is all about. And that's the way intelligence works. It's just like you get the groups in the Facebook and they do interesting things, because most people would be like, well, I didn't come here to do that. I didn't come here to learn about that. I came here to understand, why is my community falling apart? Is it because of bikers? Who knows? I'm going into commission, RCMP, and investigation at this point in time. Do I keep files on a lot of stuff? And a lot
Who's
of people.
the moron? Am I the moron?
Sliders to take over chats and discords. Yes, and I said repeatedly throughout this whole process, repeatedly, watch the Discord, watch the people, watch the comments, watch the connections. Everybody can see them. They become apparent. Now, am I pointing fingers? Am I pointing fingers at anybody directly? No. I leave people to make their own judgments. I'm not passing judgment on anybody particular either. I don't have time. I have time to do research.
Nova Scotia Blue Nose, nice. Good job. And that's the thing, is you have to take screenshots of everything, because you're going to catch so many people in lies.
Anyway, the negativity doesn't, and that's it.
It doesn't help, but you know what? It's disgusting. It's disgusting because it doesn't matter what your name is. It matters what you've done. And anybody who's sitting around waiting for facts to come about before they write an article is, I don't know, missing the fucking boat, because you've been spewing facts for the last over a year.
I just let my track record speak for itself. And I don't know if my name, my lineage changes anything about it. Like I said, I mean, perhaps people may have been interested, and I did say that all along too.
No, we didn't. Let me just fix this, because Ms. Fox and Nova Scotia Citizen, clearly you guys are hanging out together.
No. Like I said, people get upset. People in intelligence who group together. It's like those Facebook groups, remember? That just kind of blew up.
Well, there's a lot of Facebook groups. Yeah, there's a lot of Facebook groups that have nothing to do with this stuff. But you know what? The negativity isn't okay. You're right about that. The negativity doesn't help. But the backstabbing and the lying and the bullshitting doesn't fucking help either.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. And this is not entertainment. This is a fucking national, at least, issue. And if you're not here to help, then fuck off.
Afraid? Who in this story do you think would be afraid? Possible motives, law.
Anybody who's covering shit up. Anybody who knows more than they're telling. And anybody who's getting paid to fucking... Okay, well, Ms. Fox, you know what? Unlike everybody else, I don't dig into people. Unfortunately, I was born with...
Where's your faces? Show your faces. Are you down in Dartmouth? Reverse IP from inside the RCMP. Let's not go here. Like I said, I leave it with people to do the right thing. It's all it is the right thing. Now, I understand.
That's right down by the bay, 100%. 100%. Seamus, you are Nova Scotia Citizen. For you to say that nobody threatened Seamus, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You really don't, because I read the email that he was threatened by with all this shit. So you can call me a liar all you want, but that's just not the case. So get your facts straight before you start spewing shit.
It's important, and I do hope that people see that. It's important not to segue into things that other people want you to. Ask the question, stop, take a breath, don't respond. watch. I'm very slow, but I watch. That's why I'm quiet. I watch what happens. Everybody has not touched on the affidavit. The affidavit is very serious.
Well, then speak for yourself. If you didn't threaten him, that's fine, but somebody did. So don't say that nobody did, because you don't know. And Seamus didn't want to do this video. I did, because I'm fucking pissed off. You guys either fucking help me find out what the fuck happened to my family, or go fuck yourself.
Okay. So I'm going to try and be.
I'm sick of this. Seamus, you fucking spend like 18 hours of your fucking every goddamn day digging into what happened here, and these fucktards have nothing better to do than find out what your name is. Boy, the investigative skills it must have taken are, wow, that's a fucking amazing. How about they use those keen skills to find out what actually fucking happened?
Don't you know I come from, what is it, bikers or something? How many generations of lawyers in your family again? I don't want, see, it doesn't, this is the thing. And that's the thing that's so gross about all of it. People don't behave like that. I'm quiet. I do my thing. And that's all. I only have motives because you. That's it. Tara.
Yeah,
started it all.
Exactly.
And then,
Michael Penny, I agree. Why is it so important about his identity? What does the fucking matter? It matters what he did.
I could be a braggart, I suppose. But what would that advance anything? Would it? Would it would advance anything to say it's nonsensical?
Well, if you have other columns, Nova Scotia Citizen, maybe you could dig some research and make your columns with your information.
They must be.
I haven't seen your columns.
They must be archived.
They must be.
What was the first date? Women's groups. Oh, I like that too.
Public safety and interest. That's why. Why you're not writing columns? Okay, that makes sense.
I don't live in your province. I saw comments about I don't care about Canada. I believe I've spoken about numerous stories all across Canada involving the RCMP. I don't know. I don't
know what to say. I really thought at the beginning of this, when everybody came on board and was trying to quote unquote help, that we were really going to have people who wanted to help. No. And then it turns out that people don't. Some people do, and I'm so grateful to the people who do, who are honestly trying to come up with stuff, and the people who call and send information and spend their time researching stuff. It's unbelievable the way people have come together. But it's pretty disgusting that people would come in the middle of this group and try to separate people.
Well, that's it. That's it. I just leave that with people. It's just logic. Why would you come in and do infighting? Why would you have private conversations behind people's backs? Why would you turn people? If you get truth, shouldn't matter where it comes from. If I was a garbage man, or does it matter? Does it matter? And started the discord on that pretense, right? That's where all the people came in because they wanted to help who? You, right?
Yeah.
They cared about Tara. They're the ones who, and by extension, have grown as a family and care about other families and care about their communities and care about being lied to, whether it's by the media, by RCMP all over the country, by if there's criminal organizations that are involved in this. But the fact of the matter is there's things that you can logically attack. Those are the systems and cover-up that has taken place. Thereby, that will draw out probably some truth. But you don't do this, any of it, for a dead man.
No.
But
and down by the bay, I'm just reading his comment. You're right. Seriously, what kind of investigators would they be if they didn't look into you? That's true. However, if they had any kind of respect or decency or anything, or if they were on the right side of the game, they would have called him privately instead of doxing him out in public and having veiled threats, and saying, hey, I found this out. What's the scoop? You don't fucking backstab and out somebody and you don't even know what happened or what the story is. If you're a real honest person who's trying to actually help, you don't go about doing it that way. You would phone Seamus and say, yo, I found this, or somebody told me this. Is this true? What's the scoop? You don't spew it out on fucking Jordan's show or in emails or wherever people veiled threats that we're going to dox you and we're going to spew this information. If you are legitimately just trying to find the truth.
Do you like my background? Does it make me any more, less, anything? I don't know. Does it? I don't need to for a comment. You purport to be a journalist now with a Substack. Do you know what a Substack is, by the way? This is really illogical. But again, I will let my videos, my experience, the media stories that subsequently followed, anybody wants to usually go through and find the facts can go back and find, interestingly enough, in the videos. And at some point, I will do a voice scan on all of it, so then it becomes very apparent where things were coming out first. Some people come into the story 3 weeks later, and some come in over a year. I would have liked if everybody was
Squirrel eyes, you make me laugh. And that's true, exactly. Has anybody looked into Paul's background or Jordan? Do we know what Jordan's real name is? You're not a journalist, but you've got articles. Is that what you said? Columns? You're not a journalist. So what are you, an op-ed writer? So everybody cares about what your opinion is. Okay, got it. There's not really journalists anymore. There's just people who write op-eds.
Would it matter? Does it matter? I don't care if I get truth from somebody. If they want to call themselves cheese, they can. As long as I find they're not fucking me over, then I'm good.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it does feel like high school. This is nonsense, Miss Fox. It is absolutely nonsense. But had you guys come around and asked questions and been polite about it and not been a...
Don't turn around and paint it. It won't work. Won't work. Your records speak. All of your records. Screen captured. Ouch.
I agree with that, Retired Cape Breton. We do have questions. But you know what? If you have legitimate questions for somebody, if you have any fucking balls at all, you ask them to your face. You don't act like a fucking soy boy fucking pussy with your dick between your legs and go around behind somebody's back. You grow a fucking pair and you ask them to their face. It's amazing to me that I'm this 5 foot fuck all girl, and if I have a question, I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to fucking jerk off my friend next to me and spew out whatever I think is right.
Ego. I like that one. Ego.
Miss Fox, you should go. I really do think you should go. I don't think you should be in this video. If you're investigating the people who put their lives...
Share my name. It actually lends a fucking great deal of credibility to what I say. A great deal. Ego. Interesting. Do I have ego? Have I been imparting ego? I didn't.
Did somebody say that indigenous customs were creepy?
I don't know. It's all pie in the sky. Anyway, watch everything. It's a good show. It's a good show. And it shows a lot about what I have spoken about in the past, about intelligence. Remember,
that's right.
Yeah. Sorry?
I'm just looking at Squirrel Eye's comment. It's just people trying to make money off the tragedy. That's right. Our families were murdered and people are writing fucking books.
Motives often may be painted.
Yeah, running narratives is what it really is. They're trying to run the narrative so that we don't look in the right place for what it is we're looking for. It's just irritating because of all the amount of time that you spend or we spend talking to each other and gathering information and are trying to put the story together, and then you have people who are just trying to throw everything off the side. It doesn't make any sense.
Purpose, motive. Why do you kick somebody who's helping you change your tire?
Right?
I don't know. Last I checked, you don't. But
yeah, I don't really care who you are, what your background is. If you're trying to help me find out what happened to my family, that's what I care about.
It must be my ego. The ego that I've been passing.
NS Blue Nose, yes. Seamus is totally digging in the right spot. He's right over the target, which is why everybody's got their panties in a bunch and are trying to discredit him and everything that's going on. That's why. Because at the beginning, we actually tried really hard to collaborate with Paul specifically, and that just didn't work out, and that wasn't on our side of the thing. People need to write books about my family being murdered. Why? People need to write books about the cops being fucking lying sacks of shit, maybe. The RCMP, the brass, definitely. They need to write books about the shitty things that went on that night, but they don't need to gatekeep.
I think we're all agreed at the bare minimum. At the very, very bare minimum. You see, pride, and that's the thing, right? Pride is not something. I just can't. It's wrong. And that's the household I was raised in. Shall we do something about, and I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. I just want you to be able to say what you wanted to say.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I've been writhing for a few days. I don't fucking like backstabbing, underhanded people who can't have the balls to say shit to my fucking face. You have a question? Come and ask me. If I have a question, I'm going to fucking ask you. The only way I'm going to make shit up and go behind your back is if I ask you a question and can't get an answer. I won't make shit up. I'll just dig and find it out. But if I'm not a fucking pussy. So if I have a question for you, I'm going to ask you. That's all there is to it. So grow a fucking pair and either be on our team to try to figure it out or go fucking somewhere else and let the grown-ups handle it.
It puts me in a tough dilemma because I don't want to speak negatively about anybody, and I do hope that people can see that, because if you sit there and you do it all the time, or you purport to be a friend and then you're not, and then you say very negative things about a person, it's who's helping one way or another.
It creates negativity. It brings negative energy, and it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for answers. We're not looking for backbiting and high school drama shit. We're looking for people who, if they have information, they share it with the other people. That's all there is to it.
I like that concept. I do
too. I don't like having to worry about who I'm talking to and whether or not they're using what I say to stab me in the back.
Yes, honesty is very important. But again, if my honesty is in question, I'm more than happy to address anybody on that. Please come, let's have a visit. And
let me just say, Seamus, honestly, I could not be more grateful for everything that you have done. The amount of time that you have put into this.
This is another tactic. I don't believe I've spoken negatively about you. I don't believe I do have record, lots of record of you speaking negatively about me, which again, interesting. Why would you kick somebody who's been changing tires for 15 months?
Yeah.
Calculate the number of
Pineapple
hours
capital.
of video alone.
Jumbos.
Calculate the stories.
Oh, I'm not in Discord, Jumbo Slice. That's why I'm doing this here. And it shouldn't be an issue anyway. It should have been something that was dealt with face to face. It shouldn't be an underhanded whatever. But I've given enough of my energy to people who are backbiters. So let's maybe talk about something else.
Okay. Well, I do have other things. So I would like to, do you have something you would like to talk about? Anything else? You like my puppy?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
How about,
But,
I remember
I
we were at the Palliser one day for lunch, and there was a disagreement. And anyways, yes, and I heard the waiter go over and they said, how about them Blue Jays?
Yeah, right.
Wait to dispel. I'll use puppy dispel. It's the same thing. Rolling cats, right? We had for an hour.
Yeah.
Just an interesting.
That dog is fucking cute. Honestly, her ears are the best. Wow, you sure think a lot of yourself, though. You're the most honest person here. Wow, there's a lot of assumptions that come from that direction. I get all kinds of criticism, and Seamus does too. But we like to do it by face to face. You know how grown-ups do it. Yeah.
Freaking.
I don't think anyone's freaking out. I just think that it's fucking ignorant, and I also think it's just bigoted, homophobes. No, I just had this conversation today. I seriously do not know a single person at all who's stupid enough, has so few brain cells that they would legitimately say, I don't like you for the color of your skin. You might be a different color of a person and an asshole, but I don't like you because you're an asshole, not because of what color your skin is. I really truly do not know a single person, and I know a fucking lot of people who hate someone specifically for the color of their skin.
CRT.
Just putting it out there.
Nonsense. All right. Now, are we good? We're good to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Are you sure? Now, Brenda.
No, I can't promise anything.
No? Okay. Brenda.
I can't promise anything, dude. You're my friend, and I don't like people being nasty to you when you've put your whole life on hold to help me find out what happened to my family.
It's okay. I don't.
It's not okay. It's a fucking pissant 3-year-old fucking elementary school bullshit.
It just lends credence to who I am. That's all.
Well, and it also lets you know that you're right over the target.
Yeah. People get upset when you do the things that are right. Now, moving along, Brenda Forbes. Okay, so a long time ago, I noticed we had, back then I showed that Bass River, etc. There was an interesting person, independent sector, very interesting organization out of Washington, D.C., in private security, apparently. 20 years in that field. Comes from Germany, from a Brat family, which, again, I'm not going to take away from things that multiple people have helped, and that's all I look for is assistance. And if I can collaborate with those that can assist with me. Now, this individual, very interesting, Dr. Andre M. Levesque. Who is this person? OMM, Knight St. James, Order of Ontario, FRSA. Very good picture there. More medals than I know what to do with, right? And so, it works for a lot of philanthropic organizations, governmental NGOs, etc. That's pretty much their history. Again, look at all the medals, right?
Holy, that's a lot of medals.
A lot of honors this person has got. A lot of letters behind their name. Always very interesting to me who this person is. And I would encourage people to go and look at them before probably they take their stuff down. So Brenda is recommended by this person, Brenda, who is a soldier of not
Hot
any
tub Brenda?
particular note. Sorry? Hot tub Brenda. That's right.
Hot tub Brenda? Okay.
In physical security, which I don't really know if Brenda can provide physical security to an NGO organization that's controlled by the Rockefeller organization. Interesting. Anyway, for 20 years. Well, this person, interesting person also. Richard Balin, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. This is not mine, so credit due to that person who shared it with me. Very interesting. What is their credentials? Acting Director, General Covert Operations, Canada, RCMP. Kind of a heavy hitter, as in they control this stuff. They control all the undercover. Let's go through and see here.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. It's funny.
Police. Ah. The same person. What does this person have to do with police? Undercover covert operations. Why are they tied to Brenda? Does anybody else find that?
France, Canada, what?
Sorry? Oh yes, they're
Sorry.
We can go back and have a look at who they are.
Yeah. Is he from France?
No, his honor is from France, I believe. Ottawa, based out of Ottawa. He went to university in Ireland, it looks like. President Association Monument. This association created and incorporated federally to design, build, and promote national monument dedicated to Franco-Canadian friendship in Ottawa. Okay, interesting. Deputy Chancellor St. John Ambulance. Okay. Chair of Ontario Honors Advisory Council. I'm not even going to attempt. My French is very out of date. But it's to do with maintenance of French veterans' graves. Chair of the International Society of Commemoration, Memorials, and Other Monuments. Okay, more war stuff. More Chief Historian, Beechwood Funeral, Cemetery, and Cremation Services. Special Advisory to the Florida National Cemetery Joint Veterans Support Subcommittee. Okay, so more veterans' grave stuff. Official Historian, Honorary Sergeant, Volunteer. Grays and Blues out of Montreal. Founding member, volunteer of, looks like a French military volunteer organization. Advisor to the President, volunteer. Research Fellow, Conference of Defense Association Institute. Visiting Scholar, Royal Canadian Military College down there in Kingston. member of the Joint Committee, Canada-France Declaration, Director General Commemoration, Veteran Affairs, member of the Executive Committee. So I'm not seeing anything to do with police. I'm not sure why he's giving a recommendation under police. Let's see, is that all? Oh, there he is for law enforcement also. Oh, here he is for professional conduct. Wow, investigation. So it looks like police-related things for the head of Covert Operations Canada is recommended by said individual, who also recommends Brenda. Just, you know, Brenda, the shaky Brenda, safety security consultant, independent sector, which is an organization we've been through before.
Can I just say that I find it really entertaining that she's a safety consultant, but she was afraid of Wortman? I'm sorry, this is funny.
He gives her he may want to rethink that. He gives her a lot of recommendations. He seems to know her quite well.
She has like major anxiety and shit. I thought she was off work due to stress or something.
Well, but she provides physical security.
Yeah,
I want her wielding a gun. She's providing physical security for exactly.
Is she an extremely large woman?
No. I mean, most people have seen her on TV. She's fairly frail.
Not imposing.
Very shaky. Independent sector, coalition of nonprofits, foundations, and corporate giving programs. Remember, interesting ties coming out. Interesting ties. Watching it all go down. Safety, security.
She shares the hot tub.
Sorry. So by the looks of it, I think when I went through her before, she was a non-commissioned officer. So really, you know, not to be deprecating upon her at all, but she was just an enlisted soldier. But she works for an organization that's located out of Washington, D.C., doing physical, quote, physical security recommended by the same man who recommends Richard Balin, head of Covert Operations, RCMP Canada. This is a bit of a spooky tie. Covert Operations. So, why? What does this have to do with anything? Oops, sorry. I'll leave that one for other people to try and figure out. Oh, yes. I'll run through a little bit more there with independent sector. Independent sector is chaired by Stephen B. Hines. So I'm not exactly even sure what this does. It pools together money for NGOs and philanthropic stuff out of the United States. But Brenda, Shaky Brenda, who's up in Edmonton, somehow is doing physical security, and a fairly prominent individual is recommending her. Stephen B. Hines is an interesting person also, just in the sense that Stephen B. Hines is an American nonprofit executive public policy expert, served as president of the Rockefellers Foundation, an endowment with approximately $1.2 billion.
Those philanthropists make a fuck ton of money, don't they?
Why is Brenda...
We're in the wrong business.
Yes, you have to get hooked up with Brenda.
I think I will, because I really like hot tubs too. Who doesn't like hot tubs?
I don't know as I'm going to go into any of the, because there's a lot with the affidavit and the dates, the timing. Everything's about timing with everything. Yes. And there's a lot of interesting events that all coincide around the same time. But I know that a lot of other people, I speak to a few people. I'm more than happy to have conversation with anybody. The ties that between all of these events, really that affidavit was in my opinion, again, it's my opinion, I'm not saying that's fact, but looks like it was really buried behind a lot of other stories. And there's a very interesting story out of Saskatchewan. But maybe that's for another
Is this
day.
the dog story? Oh, no, not the dog story.
The dog story is right tied in there too.
It is interesting, the dog story. No, I love dogs. You and I both know I love dogs. But why do you call out all this help to find a dog shooter when you can't call the same people out to help you find a mass murderer? Just a question, you know. There could be a legitimate answer.
Well, I'm glad to have help. Again, like this was very helpful that this was brought to my attention, not my stuff in terms of the connection. I didn't know about this individual, this Richard Balin. Not sure. It describes, I am currently a senior Canadian police practitioner, superintendent in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I have over 29 years of international and domestic police experience. As a manager, supervisor, instructor, investigator, subject matter expert, and facilitator in a variety of areas. I have diverse police background, positions overseeing international operations, Interpol, covert operations, serious organized crime. Interesting, these people keep popping up. Could it be biker related? I don't know. I would think he would have a lot to do with bikers. I would think if something was going on down in Portapique, he may know about it. Why is he hooked up with the same person that Brenda is, who also comes from the same area, supposedly? Who's the only other person who, aside from, two other people who I won't name at this point in time, who seem to have disappeared into the woodwork? Is it just happy coincidence? Do you guys think it's happy coincidence?
This case is full of happy coincidences. Catching workmen at the gas station? Come on, shit like that happens all the time. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, there were 3 gas stations.
3.
We knew right where to find him, though.
In a car you don't know. Wearing clothes you don't know. In the car. From above. Like I said, line of sight. And you go to 2 other gas stations beforehand. Why? And why is the Wilson's getting written out? Even though there's eyewitness testimony about it. I don't know.
There's all sorts of things that are written out, written in, even though they were put in statements. They change. It's amazing. This is an ever-evolving story.
Yes.
It's like one of those choose-your-own adventure books, you know, from high school.
What is that you're wearing? Out of mild curiosity.
What do you mean?
Is that a piano?
My shirt?
Keyboard? Yeah. Or is it just a bunch of...
No, it says shush, no one cares. It's just a shirt that's mouthy. Because, you know, I'm an asshole. I don't know if you knew.
You're just rude. Rude dude.
I am fucking rude. And you know what? I'm good with it. I got no problem with it. It keeps all the weak personalities away. I'm the kind of person who I'm so friendly that people think that my Rottweiler and my pit bull are more approachable than me. And I'm okay with that.
Do you have a link?
I used to be nice. Pardon?
Squirrel Eyes is you want a link, Squirrel Eyes? Why is everybody else, my goodness, kicking again? It's very interesting that I see a group of people predominantly, in theory, which was obviously, I think, stated fairly early on, this is going to be an issue. Because if you touch on certain things, there's certain tactics that are used. But you don't need to demean everybody, do you?
And that's it, right? People are brushing with broad strokes, and it's a weird situation. It's hard to know what people.
Are you going to start saying things now that aren't true? I don't have your phone number. You don't have a face. You've never shown your face. 15 months speaks volumes. And if other people don't see it, then I don't know what to do. I really don't. Whoa. Okay, can we just tone it down on the language? Tone it down.
Hey, and let me say also that thank you so much, like all you guys in here, and I wouldn't be able to handle any of this without all of you guys. And there's some really close friendships that I have now, and I hope you guys all know who you are. And thank you. I don't. There's not enough thank yous in the world to appreciate everything you guys have done. So thank you.
Well, that's what good people do. In my mind, maybe I live in a utopian world, but people help one another. If they're in positions that they can afford to, not just with knowledge or whatever it happens to be, to provide some kind of assistance, physical assistance, whatever, to help somebody, and they're in the position that they can do that, then I don't know. Probably we should. And that's where I've come from. And nothing to be demeaning or deprecating on anybody else. I don't want to be. I don't want to be subverted also. Subversion is a terrible thing. But it's a common tactic. Now, I also wanted to touch on,
We've been really blessed. We're really blessed. We look at all the people that we have.
Now
and I think it's very, very cool that so many, and I mean, whether you're religious or not, it's totally up to you. I don't think it matters, but I do think it's cool that a lot of people in here are very spiritual. We try. I've been bad lately for negativity, and I know that. And I've been trying to get better with it and to be better. But a lot of people in here are very positive. And if it's amazing how many people that just will lift you up when you need that. And I need that. And other people need it. And if we can all just help it with each other to bring each other up. And, and also I had to enlist my sister the other day. I'm like, I've been fucking negative lately. When you see me being that way, let me know, because I don't want to do that. But it is a habit, and it can be really easy to be negative when other people are negative, and I'm so susceptible to it. But it's not what I want. It's not the energy is not that I want yucky energy. I definitely don't want that. I don't want to send it out, and I don't want to bring it in.
And there has been a lot of negative energy around, but there's also been a lot of positive energy. And for those,
totally,
again, I'm not trying to be offensive. I just, and when you don't talk about things, this is the difficulty. on the note that we do stand behind one another, we do know that Nancy recently lost her husband, and this has been a really tough year. I would like, if we can, and if you have a little bit of spare change in your pocket, to donate to this on just purely to good principles. That's all. That would be fantastic. Not for any other reason than you just, like, we have this family that we've grown, which is somehow offensive and problematic to certain organizations.
Those are two of my favorite things to be: offensive and problematic. So we're good.
Yes,
I got no problem. I know you're so much nicer than me. It's really true. It really is.
It's just that it's not that, no, I'm not. And I'm not. And I have a lot of faults. But
we all do. That's the thing. You can look into anybody's past and find shit they don't want found. But it's what they're doing now. What are they doing now that matters? I mean, ooh, you have a nickname. That's pretty fucking bad, Seamus. You're awful. But way more people have done way worse shit than that. Who cares? That's why we have another day. That's why God gives us forgiveness. That's why we can wake up tomorrow and say, I want to do a better job today with this, and this than I did yesterday. That's why we have another day.
Yes.
Sorry,
yeah.
I went off.
And please feel free to look into my background if you feel so inclined. But if it's going to add anything to Nova Scotia, I'm not sure. Somehow I don't think so. I've never been to Nova Scotia. I can't even say the names properly. But
that is a true statement. You really should come here and learn how to speak Nova Scotian. With that, and I'm not even trying to be funny, it is a totally different world here. The things that happen here, like I've lived in, oops, shit, sorry guys. I lived in BC. I lived all over BC, Lower Mainland, up in the mountains. I lived all over Alberta, Ontario, Vancouver Island, everywhere. And you don't get Nova Scotia until you come here. And even when I came home, it took a while because everybody calls you darling, dear, and it takes a while to realize that everybody's not hitting on you. They're not. They're just being, hey, honey, how you doing? Hey, sweetie. Hey, love. They're not hitting on you. You're not prettier here than you are anywhere else. The people are just nicer.
Oh, nicer. I've met a lot of nice people down there. I've been blessed.
Very nice.
A ton of nice people, which is pretty awesome. I mean, and a lot of people, sadly, who have really been negatively impacted by this on all fronts, whether that be just average citizens or other family members who I thank God that I'm not there. But I just know that we're all working, not all, but many of us are working together to do the right thing. And there is a concerted effort to stop that. But because it's just the same thing as asking the question, why do you not tell us the truth about a dead man? It was already asked day one. You can get off in all kinds of stews and shiny things and stuff like that. But the big questions still remain always. But evidence comes forward through collaboration and verification. I'm a big person on verifying. I know I saw some comment in here earlier. I don't like to point fingers unless I know definitively or as close as I can feel to definitively, which is sometimes. What were you saying to me the other week? I'm too slow. We're talking about molding story.
See, you and I, if we could like make a mixture clone of the two of us, because I'm fucking knee jerk. If I have something in my head, it's coming out my face hole before I even know what's going on. That's the thing, is why I can't stand people that keep secrets and lie, because I don't know how to play that game. And you are so meticulous and you think about things for so long that you never get it out, because you're like, okay, what if somebody takes it this way? Or I don't want to cause any troubles. I don't want to piss off that person. And, you don't say anything until you know 100. I hate to say this. I fucking hate it when people say this, but unless you know 110%, you fucking guaranteed, you don't say shit. And I will. I'll just caveat that shit with, this is my opinion, or this is based on what I know, this is what I think. So if we could mix us together where we could be a little less fucking knee-jerk assholes, that's me, and a little less making sure everything's 100% in line like you.
Well, no, and I, like I said, I suffer from my own faults, right? But you see, this is what I saw collectively, and it wasn't myself that thought of that. That was Adrian originally, who was like, I'm like, can we get something like that? And he's like, oh yeah, we can do the Discord. So and it starts with 3, and then just goes, which is really, really cool. And of course, there's going to be some stuff that comes along the way, because there's people who don't want truth coming out, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just being able to decipher as best a person can be to decipher, because you say 100%. I don't know anything 100% ever. I think the basic philosophy is I think, therefore I am. That's about all that I know.
I find the more stuff I find out, the more questions I have. I sometimes get rambling and mouthing off where I talk as though I know what I'm talking about, but I do end up at the end of it with more questions. Usually, especially in this situation. This is crazy.
Yes, but via those questions, they become clear, like some more decisive, clearer questions come along the way, I think, and has made some certain people uncomfortable. Definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's fun. You know what? I get a kick out of making people uncomfortable, because you know what? They killed my family. So to make them uncomfortable, to me, is fucking wonderful. I like to have them running. I like to have them wondering what I know. And I wish that when I asked somebody a question, they would just assume I know the answer, because lots of times I do. That would be easier, because then they would just tell the truth.
Yes, if I was asked the right questions, I know a lot of stuff would pile out. I never can figure out exactly what to say. It takes forever to try to. Let me see. Did I have anything else sitting in my tray from? I don't want to touch on that right now. I found an interesting song, though. Want to hear it?
A what?
An interesting song.
I don't know about you guys, but I cannot hear that song. Can you?
Oh shit! It's not. Did I do the tech fuck up thing again?
Yeah, I think so. It was just quiet.
Oh, balls. Well, it's a good song. Oh no, I don't want to close that. Sorry. It's an interesting song.
That's okay. I thought
Um,
just maybe because I was on with you, I wasn't hearing it.
no. More Seamus technical bungling. I'm glad everybody puts up with my pronunciation and
No, my favorite, Stewicky. Stewicky's the best. Like, never change that. Don't ever say it correctly because it's fucking funny. Happy
well,
Canada Day to you.
so
Yeah,
I
right? Totally classic. Stewicky. The best.
this story also came up today, which I find is very interesting. Once again, we've got more white cars floating around, and this is going to be painted an interesting way, not something that I necessarily am buying into. A 2014 Taurus listed day ago in Lunenburg, white Taurus. Okay, so it's a police interceptor. And here we have all recalls located halfway between Liverpool, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we can have a look here. It's a white Taurus.
To me, this setting is so interesting. Maybe it's just me. I could totally be just paranoid and seeing crap that's not there. But to me, the picture where it's taken is very interesting. It's right across from those mailboxes. The wood area right there looks just as though you were pulling out of Portapic. It's really weird.
Well, as you can see, I mean, it certainly looks like the Wortman vehicle, right? Doesn't it? I mean, the interior
Right?
here.
Doesn't it?
Oh, it does. The plastic seat, the cages.
Doesn't it?
Oh, there we go. This is
Yep.
the one item. The one item, which, by the way, anybody can put this on there. Is this a problem? A white car with a center console mount, which is not even the true mount, because there's stuff that screws into it. Because it's a white police interceptor, which has always been for sale. Police interceptors have been around for decades. I used to have a friend who had one back in 1970 something or other RCMP. It was huge. It was a boat. What you're talking about with police interceptor is generally the engine. Sometimes they have a little tuned up suspension and transmission. Is that make it? Is this a Wortman thing? But the funny thing is the person who's selling it, which I don't want to dox that person. I wonder if there's a way to show it without doxing them. I don't know, because some people that's what they want, is people doxing them. They have a lot of pictures on there, thin blue lines,
Yeah.
and things.
German Shepherds.
I don't know how to. I can maybe move the window up. Is that how I can do it? No. Perhaps like this. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to really work. Unfortunate. No, I can't. But it seems almost too convenient. Too convenient to have. This is like more white cars popping up, and or shootings that don't really happen over in Centennial Park. Or I would say, look at the affidavit. The affidavit's very probably where they don't want eyes. That's why it took so long to file it. And the
Funny, eh? It was like 5 days.
Yeah.
Was it 5 days after?
He is a blue liner. Does that denote that he's a police officer? Does it denote that it's a real account? I don't know. I would say it's convenient because a lot of white cars stories seem to come up. A lot of shootings that happen but don't happen seem to come up around times that people are touching in areas you shouldn't be. Construction stuff, Centennial Parks, videos with white cars that have wraparound stickers, and I don't know, a lot of intelligence hullabaloo that goes on. This would be my opinion, but I don't know. I did see something about shoelace. Do you have any thoughts on the shoelace?
Yes. Do I?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm trying to picture it.
Uh-oh. Something happened there. Maybe she'll rejoin. I hope. That would be unfortunate. Affidavit. There was an affidavit, yes, that floated out from Campbell. And a lot of interesting events that all transpired around it, which took eyes away. Not saying that they were all purposeful, but could be. It's very interesting that things happen around there. So, there we go. Yay! You're back.
I got too excited. I got excited.
We were getting lonely.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's quiet when I'm not around. Oh, she's so cute. I want to snuggle her. Why do you have to live in another province? Those ears. Oh my God, look at those ears.
She's so soft.
But I'm not a small dog person. My small dog weighs 65 pounds. But that's a cute fucking dog. She's so sweet. My thoughts on the shoelace is that it's funny. I think it's funny. How, to me, obviously wasn't there, but you're surrounded by cops, SWAT and shit. You're just killed a bunch of people, and somebody pulls out a shoelace. I'm sorry, but that's fucking funny to me. Yes. I don't know. It's entertaining. I think it's funny. I can't imagine how that would go down. How does that go down? You take your own shoelace. You ask your partner for a shoelace. Or like, did you bring an extra shoelace just in case?
It's your drop shoelace. Police are notorious for carrying.
It's your spare shoelace. Is it your police issue shoelace? That's what I want to know. Is it a police issue shoelace?
Well, I thought it was untraceable, so I'm not sure how that works.
Come the fuck on. How fucking stupid do I have to be to believe that? And I love that it says in the article something about that's not proven. I forget how the wording is. You know how I am with that, but how he didn't verify that part of it. Well, no fucking duh.
I think the article funny. Says that
I have cuffs hanging from my belt.
The cuffs.
Anyway, sorry, it says what?
I'm not going to weigh in too much on it, but I did find
I think it's comical.
I think it was an interesting article. I go back still to the same thing. Does it answer anything that happened 18 and 19? Does it? Whether he was restrained with and I know I'm not meaning any disrespect to anybody. I'm just wondering, does it answer anything? There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out. Shiny, is my term.
Well, it just specifically doesn't answer who cuffed the guy, right? And I don't know. I'm not a cop, but I am saying that if their handcuffs are issued, right? You don't just like grab a pair of handcuffs from the bin on your way onto your shift. I assume you have a pair that you have to return when you get fired or whatever. Those are yours. So clearly, like, you're not coming to work without them. I would say that shoelace situation was a way to deliberately not identify who cuffed the guy.
Irrespective,
How do you not know who cuffed the guy?
Does it answer anything?
It makes no difference. No.
Does it tell you
No,
who
it
killed
doesn't.
your brother?
Not even a
How
little.
that happened? What led up to that? I don't. For some reason, I'm not thinking it does. It may be. It's very interesting, but I didn't know.
Like, where does that even come from? Who says that? We're drinking. That's what happened. They're drinking Friday night. They're coming up with the choose your own adventure. And they're like, shoelace. No one had bought it. It's so stupid. It's so ridiculous that they'll believe it.
I think if I was to say anything, I really think the 3 gas stations is really more important. And beyond, they're happy now to talk about, because of March, whatever those 2 videos were, Elmsdale. They're happy to talk about the Elmsdale Petro, but everybody seems to have forgotten all about the ESO, which was talked about way back at the beginning. So how do you have 3 gas stations? Don't forget about the 3rd.
Why?
It's problematic. Why? Exactly.
It's amazing
they
that they have.
Yeah. I'm remembering that this person.
Did they know?
Yeah.
Well, no, I had to chuckle again because there was an article I read that said, I can't think of exactly how it was put. Gina Goulet was notorious. Was that the word? For running her car on fumes.
She was
so
notorious.
Maybe that's how they. I'm reasonably sure they used the word notorious.
I mean, these things are.
Well, if they knew that, that's right. How do they fucking know that?
How do you know that he has that vehicle? Right. The last reported vehicle that he's in is the silver Chevy Tracker, but it's over in Brookfield, which is totally unrelated. And he had that tracker for, how long was it again? Somebody in here, I'm sure, remembers 16 minutes, 14 minutes, which doesn't really fit because he only drove 1.4 kilometers. And it's nowhere near where they say it is. So I'm not understanding what's quite going on there. And people, I believe, more answers, funnily enough, come from something like that, just in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, it does speak to, let's say, if this shoelace theory is true, then I suppose it could be police. I guess that's the way it's being taken, is that this is police that are rebelling against the system and letting people know that we object, like they did with the silent walkout, all the members that happened to go on to sick leave, which is but I'm not understanding, but perhaps I'm missing something, and somebody needs to help me with that. I did actually have one question about a picture. Perhaps everybody can help me with also. Guns. Oh no, this is totally out of order. This folder takes a long time. My computer is definitely not happy. People have been doing nasty things to it.
There's a comment. Nova Scotia citizen said people complaining about Paul Plango covering stuff up that they don't want to get out. I don't know anything about that. I will say, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I will say that I think it's shitty that those tapes and stuff came out by a leak. I think it's awful. I don't think the kids should have come out, but at the same exact time, all that information needed to come out. So as much as I'm not a fan, I don't know. People were talking about if it were Emily, and as shitty and as fucking horrible, absolutely horrible it would be if I had the last phone call of Emily, um, having it come out public. I don't know, but and it's not that I think I have the right to hear it. I'm not trying to be a dick or any of that stuff, but I am on the fence about it because if those tapes were available and the families could have just said, I want to hear that, or that, I don't know, it shouldn't have been leaked. But I'm still glad that it came out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wrestling with myself about how I feel about it. But I guess it's not, I didn't have that happen to me. It wasn't my family. So if it was my family, there's a pretty good chance that my perspective would be different.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably shouldn't have said anything at all, but I do struggle with how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion on it. I'm not in a position to weigh in on it, so I'll just steer clear of it. I definitely do have thoughts, but you know them.
Hey, my dog and your dog are the same exact colors. See that?
Oh yeah. Well, even though it doesn't have the Italian Greyhound, I wonder if it has Dachshund in it.
Yes.
Rottweiler breed.
Oh, the Roddy.
There was something about one of the pictures I had questions about, and perhaps people in chat may be able to help me. We're, I believe, led to believe that Wortman or whomever's in the vehicle or whatever's going down there, which I think is probably safe to say, not to be conspiratorial, but we just, at this point in time, there's so many lies and mistruths. I mean, it's good to start with kind of a clean slate and tear apart what comes out and look at it critically. This gun, I believe, is told to be Heidi Stevenson's gun, if I'm correct. But the problem with that is, to the best of my knowledge, and I've asked, RCMP don't receive black guns. They receive nickel-plated ones. Heidi Stevenson would have had a nickel-plated one. They haven't had black guns in at least 20 years was the last issue. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think this is Heidi Stevenson's gun. Sorry? They do get black guns. Is that what you're saying? I can't find, I've asked people, within that organization, they have not, to their knowledge, they don't know of anybody who has a black one, but I could be wrong. And, well, that's fine. Ad hominems are not hurtful. But if this is
Sticks and
supposed to be
stones.
Heidi's gun, why is it black? Equally, where is the handgun that was supposedly seen in the back seat? But I think I've talked about that before.
From what I saw in that video, that officer had no time to see anything. He got out of that fucking car, SUV, ready to shoot somebody. There was no hesitation. He opened that door en route to shooting somebody. That's what I think. That's what I saw.
Because they said in the ITOs that the gun was visible, I believe.
No.
So
yeah, you're right.
In the back seat. I could be wrong. Let me double check that. I don't. Oops. Sorry. I don't want to be incorrect. I don't like that.
Alex, yes, she is a Rottweiler. She's awesome. I love her so much. She's an idiot, and I love her. I'm just looking through with some of the
85.
Apple Capital. It's amazing to me what people don't see. That's right in front of them. I don't get it. I don't know how they can't see this.
2000. So
Thanks,
the last
Dave.
dump, this is again common tactic for the RCMP. This is the last dump. 2,562 pages. Difficult
Because
to go through.
but fuck.
Back.
Right? Exactly. Caper de Bert. No. That if you watch that video, I mean, unless it was clipped and it didn't look like it was, he put that car, he parked that car and got out ready to shoot. He saw fucking nothing.
Okay, maybe it's not backseat, but let me just make sure.
Mary.
Does anybody know?
Funny that every time I go to Portapic or to the Truro area, I take that dog with me. And she's an awesome guard dog. What I love about my Rottweiler is that she wouldn't hesitate to protect me immediately if I needed. My pit bull, he'd be like, is anybody coming to help? She'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm here, man. Back out. Get out of my way.
You got out with intent and open fire. Well, it certainly appears that way. You know, again, have to take everything with a bit of a grain of salt.
That's how it looked. That was a really good way to put that, Caper de Bert. It did absolutely seem like that. They had a mission and they were doing it.
But it's siloed information. So the same person that has access to telecommunications also has access to videotape surveillance, which is not really common. It's not common at all. That's all protected B, siloed information. So I'm not exactly sure who would have access to both. That would be very high level, very, very high level. And as soon as you touched on it, it would ping that information. Any thoughts, anybody? You'd have a marker. Did I miss a comment?
Did I lose you?
No. I'm still here.
I clicked the wrong button and I'm out of my screen. I really hate not having my computer. Doing this all on the phone, it drives me actually bananas. Can never seem to find the screen. I went, oh, there we go.
Oh, Sharon's here. Hello.
Hey, Sharon.
Long time. Protected B, yes, every step is recorded. Yes, but only certain people have access to protected B stuff, and it's siloed into individual departments. So anybody that has access to all of that information has to be very, very high up. It's not a general investigator. Was it allowed to be leaked? I believe so. Yes.
Yep, I believe so too.
If
it was, you can't get that high up clearance. I mean, if I was a cop, I couldn't just say, I'm going to go grab those tapes. No, it was leaked on purpose.
It's easy to get the security footage. Okay. I would think not, but perhaps.
I would think not. Let's go see. Anybody live in the area? Let's see if we can get all this stuff.
I remember trying to find employees, and I remember talking about the NDA and then the transfer of all the employees out of there, except for what the assistant manager, I believe, was still there. And then they went poof. Requires pre-authorization.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, not only that, but from the RCMP aspect of it too. When you log into those computers, you have to log in with a code. Like, come on, you guys, we're not that stupid.
I'd still like to know what's going on down there before that happens. That's kind of where, and what also is happening subsequently with all of the commission and other proceedings transpiring subsequently. Those seem to me to be more relevant, but maybe I'm just wrong. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we should wrap it up.
It's okay if you keep going. Like, I'll pop back in. I gotta give the phone over. So, but I'll pop back in after for sure.
No. Take good care, and thank you for stopping by. And
thanks you guys so much, and everybody for being here. And God bless you all. Oh, I cannot thank you enough. And I do have to scooch, but I'll talk to you guys all later. Thanks, Seamus.
Thank you. Take good care.
You too. God bless you guys.
God bless you. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to be offensive on anybody. I come at it from a perspective I wish to work together. I don't understand splitting of information, but if that works best, whatever it happens to be, and please feel free to have a look at who I am if you want. God bless everybody. Take good care. Please don't overheat. It's definitely warm over here. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's nice. And yes, it would have to be leaked on purpose or something else. And I'm not going to get into that right now. But to me, it's all very purposeful. Again, the timing of events is very interesting, but we'll get into all that when I start talking to as to the affidavit, which does require a little bit more time, and have to kind of get some articles and things like that lined up. But it doesn't really work particularly well, the affidavit, with me. It questions, definitely some very serious questions arise. And I think the quietness with this, how it slipped out, the timing, the when it was sworn out versus when it was filed, very important. Very, very important. Second, third, eighth. Get a lot of interesting stuff happening, and it goes on from there. So let's have a look and keep those eyes and ears peeled. Good knowledge. If I need correction on anything, please let me know. I do hope that you all take good care of each other, and God bless everyone.